This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. My name's Tom Alexander, and joining me today, it is the elders. Hey, how are you?
What's up, Tom?
I'll tell you, this is kind of cool because you guys are always traveling, and
Yes.
I'll tell you something. You go from place to place, and in this world right now, what are you going to do? You're going to hunker in for a while in one location, or what are you going to do? But it's Scott and Renee, right?
Yep.
And you're right now. We find out you're in Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Yeah, this has been our quarantine spot since March.
Wow. So you've been there for quite a while.
Yeah, this is the longest stint of us being in one spot since we've been RVing, and we're kind of fidgeting to get on the road.
A little bit, huh? Yeah, we
Yeah.
were just talking offline, and I saw this picture, a beautiful picture on your website with you standing in front of Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous blue water out to the horizon and like the ocean. And you said, boy, we really we miss it. We really should be up there right now.
Yes.
And you're not. But you could be in worse places. Cape Cod isn't exactly the worst place on earth.
Yeah,
Well, now that it's warmed up, we got here in March. It was 25. We've been in Florida all winter, so it was a bit of a shock for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have spent quite a bit of time in Florida.
Yeah, we lived in Florida 11 years before we decided to start RVing, so we're pretty much Floridians.
Yeah. Whereabouts in Florida were you?
Our house was in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay. So up in the Panhandle.
Yep,
Yeah, and
exactly.
then once we got the RV, we went down south for the winters.
I see. Gotcha. Yeah, we're based just west of Fort Lauderdale, where we
Okay.
are. And
Yep.
so we know all about warm weather. And of course, now we're coming into the oppressive summer months, which you're probably pretty
Yes.
familiar with.
That's why we were supposed to leave in April to start making our way. We're going to pit stop on Cape Cod. I got family here for a few weeks or so, and then go to Michigan in June to make our way over. But obviously, that's all with COVID. That's kind of been put on hold.
Yeah. Now, under normal circumstances, would you spend your winters in Florida for a while in the warm weather?
Yeah,
And then,
or somewhere warm. We want to get to Arizona one winter as well. And
yeah, sure. Anywhere where it goes above 50, right?
exactly.
Correct. Yes, preferably.
I hear that. I'm right with you. I grew up in Pennsylvania in the first 32 years of my life, and in the Pocono area where it snowed a lot, and it was and it was gray a lot, and icy and just kind of miserable for a lot of months. And I was just not a cold weather person, even as a kid. I just was not. I really preferred playing baseball and riding my bike and swimming, and hard to do that when it's 15 degrees and icy out.
And I don't mind the cold as long as it's like pretty and snowing. The cold that's here is always wet and like gray, whereas we used to live in Colorado and it was snowy cold but clear blue sky, and you can go hiking and snowboarding still.
Yeah. So a different kind of winter out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, your site is upforthejourney.com. Upforthejourney.com. And tell us a little bit about the origin of that. And I know you guys have a pretty large following on Instagram, and people kind of track your adventures.
Yeah.
Tell us how that all got underway.
Originally we started RVing because of our arts and craft business that we have, and it kind of turned into one of those necessities where we were traveling and renting hotels and then doing Airbnb, and then something we never thought of getting an RV and traveling to do our work. So it kind of just led to that. And then my family wanting to know where we were and all these cool spots. So of course, Instagram was the way to go. We weren't really video people. So Renee, actually, we kind of comboed up with the name Up for the Journey because for us, we had bought the dream home on the beach in Florida and we thought we were done.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we're good. And now all of a sudden this journey of RVing and business came up for us. And it was literally just like, man, these journeys are coming up. We have to be up for them when they take fruition, and we just got to be up for it. So ultimately, Up for the Journey came up with it, and since we travel for business, why not just kind of snap some pictures and live the dream?
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, let's find out more about some of those journeys. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the elders. It's Scott and Renee from Up for the Journey. We'll be back on the RV Advisor podcast in just a moment.
The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of RV owners. With your help, we'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality controls in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org.
We are back on the RV Advisor podcast. My name's Tom Alexander, and my guests are the elders. It's Scott and Renee, and they are in Cape Cod. And right now, they've actually been there for quite a while. Under normal circumstances, they would be out on the road doing their thing. And why, really, the chief reason why people follow them and all their adventures. Tell us a little bit about, well, first off, before we get to the adventures themselves, the crafts business that you talked about, arts and crafts. Tell us a little bit about that and where folks can kind of look at some of that stuff too.
Okay. I'm sure most RVers are familiar with the Yeti stainless steel cups and the Tervis plastic cups. We actually make the handles that go on the cup.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically a universal handle. So whether you have the big 30-ounce cup, you still have a handle. So it just makes it easier. Now, this was done pre-RV times for us, and then it just kind of molded into, hey, we got rid of all our glassware when we sold our house, so we have all of the Tervis and Yeti cups.
Yeah.
And why not?
Why not? Yeah. People really enjoy them, and there you go. So
we physically hand make them in the RV here while we travel. So we have all our supplies, all our materials, and our assembly line here. We kind of just make them when business is normal. We pretty much make them almost every night and stock up and sell on our website and things like that.
Renee, you the boss?
Yeah.
She calls the shots, huh?
Yes.
So where in other words, first of all, what kind of RV do you have? What are you in right there?
So we have a tow behind travel trailer. We have the Grand Design 315 RLTS. So just under 40 foot travel trailer. We tow it with a F250 diesel. It's pretty standard.
Yeah. But enough room so that you've got sort of the assembly line going on there where you can make your products.
Yeah, our assembly line is the 2 recliners that we have here. So she makes them, passes them to me, and that's the assembly line.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, pretty good.
pretty cool. So there's no quitting time whistle that you hear in the factories, right? It's like, none of that stuff, right? It's okay.
No, we kind of go by the weather. It's going to be nice tomorrow. Great. We'll go hiking. We'll go kayaking. We'll go mountain bike riding, and we'll work later.
Right. Gotcha. So tell us a little bit about some of the places, some of your favorite spots that you've been. I know that Michigan is one of them, as evidenced by the website, which, by the way, is upforthejourney.com. That's upforthejourney.com. Tell us a little bit about some of your favorite spots.
I know my first favorite spot when we first started traveling, before we went further north, was like the Carolina Mountains, Asheville, Black Mountain area.
Oh, yeah.
And then last year was our first summer going further north, and I think we can
Michigan.
unanimously agree that northern Michigan and the UP and just pretty much, you know, Michigan in general has by far taken the cake in the summertime, not the wintertime.
Have to be there in the summer, absolutely.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, Wisconsin was awesome. Yeah, Wisconsin was great.
I like Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana was
a little bit of Indiana.
Right.
A couple of state parks in Illinois.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because since we move every week, we're not full timers that stay in one spot for 6 months and move. We actually move under normal circumstances again every week. So we're seeing new spots every week and not just going month here, month there, whatever. It's actually week to week.
Yeah, and what about the planning? Talk a little bit about that. I mean, is it sort of a thing where, okay, so let's say you're in the Great Lakes region, which it sounds like you do quite a bit of that. You like that area, middle of the country and northern part of the country.
Yep.
So if, let's say, a lot of the spots you mentioned were on the lakes, so is that something you sort of map out ahead of time and say, okay, we're going to spend a week here and a week there and a week there? Or do you just sort of like, let the truck sort of just drive itself and say, here, let's stop here?
No,
yeah, that's your answer.
I do all the planning, and we're traveling for work. Generally, a lot of the shows we got to book out 6 to 8 months in advance to get into the show. So we're like, before COVID hit, we already knew our whole schedule basically up until March of 2021 already. That's obviously going to be changing with COVID because now we don't know everything's just been canceling. Yeah. But generally, we're pretty well planned out. And then once we know 100% we got into this particular festival, I'll go ahead and book a campground that weekend. Right. So we have had reservations booked for 8-9 months out that we've had to cancel because of COVID now. But no, generally we don't wing it. I'm kind of a planner, and I need to know, especially when this is our house and we're going for work, we need to know we got a place to stay in that town where if we weren't working, then we'd say, oh, we can't stay there. Let's drive another hour and go to this town. But we can't do that.
Right.
And so we got to really plan where we're going. But some of the places are repeat places, so it's not so much planning because we know what campgrounds we're already going to go to automatically.
Right. So, well, that's good. Obviously, planning ahead, I think, can save some headaches. That's for sure.
Yes.
Kind of winging it sort of sounds fun and romantic, but it can often lead to a crisis du jour. You just don't know what's going to.
Especially in the winter in Florida, you can't do a lot of winging it because they're so hard to find places.
Right. True. That's true. A lot of them are. A lot of people there during that stretch. Now, you'd mentioned COVID, and obviously it's something the whole world's dealing with, and we here in the States are dealing with it. It seems right now more than anybody. Mm-hmm. It's an awful lot, and I know how it's affected so many parts of so many lives. I mean, it's not just travel; it's business. It's so much. How have you guys made the adjustment with your products and different things? And just obviously we know you're sort of holed up there in Cape Cod, but in terms of the shows and different things and the events and all the things that you do, it had to be pretty dramatic.
It was a shock to the system. Because like Renee said, we're normally booked out 8-9 months in advance. And then when we saw the domino effect of show after show after show canceling,
kind of just got to roll with it.
Yeah, with that, we kind of just have to roll with it and hope to God that you've prepared prior to, dig your well before you need the water type thing. We made sure we had always savings in the bank for us and things like that. So on a rainy day, so to speak, COVID-19 rainy day or something, that we had money to live off of. And, adapting was just more of how can we boost our online sales? How can we boost our exposure because everybody's buying online? But also at the same time, having a very strong realization that, things may cut in half income-wise or something, but we knew, okay, we got to we feel it out, but we have to make adjustments more online. as opposed to physical arts and crafts shows, because obviously those are hundreds of thousands of people all the time, every weekend. So, but it just pretty much, our orders have been starting to bump up again online now that people are going back out to shop. Basically, they're stir crazy. So people are just going shopping now, and we've actually we just shipped out a box today of orders. So, we have retail stores that are starting to open up back up again too, that are carrying them. So they're starting to reorder, because in Florida, winter population's starting to go up again because everybody's traveling to Florida.
Right.
So, or summer. Where are we? Summer.
Yeah, people are starting to. Yeah, they're starting to make the trek north, maybe. But I'll tell you, because we've heard all kinds of different stories from our guests over the past couple of months, and how they're and everybody's story is a little kind of unique. I mean, we all share this one thing where we have to kind of shelter in place, or we're wearing our masks, or a different combination, different variety of precautions that we're all taking, and adjustments we're making. But everybody's story is still unique. They have their own thing, and I'm glad to hear that you guys are rolling with the punches, so to speak.
That's all we can do, really.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting to call campgrounds and have to ask, what's your policy for us to come stay there? And it's like, like Maine's really hard to get into right now. You got to show negative test and do all this stuff. So it's different to not just be able to call a campground and make a reservation.
Yeah.
They're pretty ruthless up here in the Northeast, man. They're pretty ruthless up here. Like, if they see our Florida license plate, we drive by and they're like, "Ooh, he's from out of town."
Yeah. They're from really out of town. It's not just like New Hampshire. It's
exactly
pretty far away. Tell folks where they can learn more about your products.
Well, first of all, like you mentioned, our personal website is upforthejourney.com. Like you said earlier as well, the biggest thing we focus on is more Instagram. We have a couple of review videos on YouTube, very low production, because that's not our niche type thing. But as far as our business wise, it's myfreedomhandles.com. So that product is actually called a Freedom Handle. And the website is myfreedomhandles.com. And they're basically a universal handle that fits on the Yetis, Tervises, and all the stainless steel type cups that people use on a daily basis, because they're transitioning from plastic to reusable type vessels.
Vessel, yeah. My Freedom Handle.
Myfreedomhandles.com.
Handles, plural?
Is it plural?
There's an S.
Yeah, there's an S. Yeah,
all right, there we go. Okay. Myfreedomhandles.com. Freedomhandles.com. There it is. Oh, yes, absolutely. There we go. For our viewers, now I know that some of the folks sort of consume this podcast audio only. Cool. But you can certainly go to the website and learn more about My Freedom Handles, and also upforthejourney.com if you want to track all the stuff, and their Instagram as well. And it's Scott and Renee Elders. And Elder?
That's right.
Okay.
Elder. Singular.
This time there's no S this time. All right, I got it. So well, listen, folks.
That's right.
We'll get there. We'll put it all together. We'll fix all this in editing, as they say.
There you go.
No, we won't. But anyway, no, we're fine.
This is raw footage, right here.
This is it. Just what you see is what you get. Well, no, we really appreciate your time, and continue to stay safe. Love to have you back on again.
Definitely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, once again, myfreedomhandles.com is where you can check out all their cool products, and definitely worth seeing and worth checking out. From Cape Cod, it is the Elders. Thank you, Elders. Really appreciate it. Elder.
No problem. Thank you, Tom.
Our Take care, everybody. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.